today is Trump's inauguration that has made the Australian dollar, US dollar, that has made the euro dollar, US dollar rise, and it has made the pound and the New Zealand. If you look at the currency meter at the moment, we have New Zealand, euro, and Aussie as the strongest, and then we have the dollar and the yen as the weakest. Somebody asked in chat, I didn't see who, but somebody asked, why did a dollar fall? Number one, dollar is not traded today. It is actually closed today, so there is supposed to be no stock trading as well. But it's because of a Wall Street Journal article that says, and I quote, Trump might lay out this trade vision, but won't impose new tariffs yet. He's just going to talk about it. Now, that in itself is quite fun and everything, but it doesn't. I don't forget that about a week ago or so we had the same thing happening, and then Trump himself comes out and says, "Hey, I'm still going to do it." So today is volatility day. Whatever is going to go up or lower, it doesn't matter to me, because I want us as professionals, at least trying to be going by the fact and what we know. And if you had already bought the sold the dollar, then sure, go ahead, have fun. But at the current levels, we will see throughout this live stream of if I agree with that kind of scenario. Anyways, why is yen pairs flying? Same reason, risk on, as I just also explained. New Zealand, Aussie, and Euro is all having a bit of a field day today. So if I just take everything over here, I want us to have an update on our fundamental bias. So currently we are expecting for the 29th of January meeting, that is 9 days, we are not expecting anything. And by the end of the year, we're expecting, well, maybe a rate cut or 2 rate cuts. We will see. Going forward, if I have a bit of a look at the US, the US type of on this side here. For the GDP, we are at 3.1. That is a bit high. That was higher than expected. So that is bullish dollar. The PMI is 54. It is bullish dollar. We have manufacturing PMI. That is bullish. Nah, okay. Ever so range bound. It's below 50. So it's a bit ish. NFP is bullish dollar. Okay, what I would call a normal 250 is normal. So again, a bit of bullish dollar because it was higher than expected and it wasn't lower. Unemployment rate is okay, ever so slightly bearish to the dollar. Unemployment claims is ever so, I think it's supposed to be bullish, but can wait for it. Yeah, okay. There was at least a bit more, but we are still about 200,000. And wage growth in America is about 3.9. So it's also making dollar bullish. So I went through most of the major economics of United States. That is of importance. CPI is bullish. PPI is bullish. And the core PCE is somehow flat as a pancake at 2.8. Okay. What does that mean, everyone? Does that mean that we should be dollar bullish? It might mean that we might be dollar bullish. That means that today's move on New Zealand dollar, that means that move on the euro dollar might just be short-lived for today or for tomorrow. I am very happy about the euro dollar going up to 103.40. I might even want to say encourage it to go higher. Now, if we take a look at if we take into consideration the fundamentals data and the technical data, we are still bearish overall on euro dollar. We are still bearish on the Australian dollar, US dollar. And how do I see that? Because we are starting about top left corner, and we are about bottom left corner. So bottom right corner, sorry. So still very much bearish. That is supposed to be a breather for you. Relax, chill. No market's running out from you. You are in complete control. And if you don't get the high, if you don't get this, if you don't get that, it doesn't matter, because there's still a trading day tomorrow.
Trading is hard, but trading by yourself is even harder. This year is your year to join a trading community. The A1 Trading VIP Discord community is made up of thousands of traders around the world committed to helping you learn and to find better trade setups. Inside of the Discord, you can browse Trader Nick, Frank, and Ivan's trades on all things Forex, stocks, options, and ETFs. You also get exclusive access to Ivan's live coaching webinars, where you can learn from a seasoned professional in the industry and even ask questions during the webinar. We also have chat rooms filled with traders who share their thoughts and analysis daily. It's a space for both veteran and new traders alike to come together over their love of markets. Want to take it a step further? Upgrade to Pulver Alerts, where veteran money manager Chris Pulver shares his daily options and stock positions. All things A1 trading are happening in the VIP Discord. Start your new year off on the right foot and join today.
I'm fading the pound spike and the Swissy spike. All right, cool. Greetings to A1 team. Greetings to you too. If you guys have any trading plans or directions or anything for engagement, I'll do it. We'll also do the gold train later. But again, these ones are supposed to be closed today. So I'll start out with the Australian dollar, US dollar. They are supposedly cutting in February, if I remember absolutely correctly. So that might be a bit of a, let us say, not necessarily great going forward. There we go. So, they're supposed to cut 25 basis points in the meeting February 18th. We have already had a very good long run. That makes me uneasy. I don't like that. I don't want that. But again, I am appreciating the pound, the dollar, and the Australian having a bit of a pullback. On the flip side, China. Is China going to have a bad 2025? Is have a good 2025? What is Trump going to do? How is he going to do it? Where is he going to do it? If the tariffs comes in my little world, we are supposedly continuing lower on the Australian. So to me, I think it is great. I can't trade it at the moment because it's low. It is low. And if you go back to 2018, this is about start of 2018, and the trade words was at this peak about May, June, July, August. So there is about there. That means that even when we have the current moves, we have the current fundamentals, we can sit back and say, okay, let's wait for another day tomorrow. Okay? It's going to be better tomorrow. For Euro's part, again, same situation, has almost gone down to 102. That was the target for the month. So that means that, we might be a bit too much lower here. Let's have a bit of a pullback. I love it. I think it's great. Why do I think it's great? Because I am stressed. Like, I will shed fur if I ever had one. If I'm shorting 103.40 as a long-term trade, I would love to have a trade there, but hey, the spikes, unless we just go deep down quickly. If I go to the COT report, everyone knows what the COT report is, the Commitment of Traders report. It was filed on Tuesday last week, reported on Tuesday. We have pound at the bottomest with a negative 4.76 week, which is a normal, but still very bearish on the pound. People are very depressed about the pound. Why are we depressed about pound? Turning depressed because we are scared about what the future is, because they have a higher interest rate and they have worse economic development, and that might go into some bad things. So people are reducing their buys, they're reducing their things, so that there is that. On the flip side of it, on the same side of it, CAD is really short, Swiss is really short, and New Zealand is really short by the professionals. That totally makes sense. Why? Inflation. Was inflation in Swissy? 0.6. Was inflation in New Zealand? I don't remember. Was inflation in Canada? 1 point something, if I remember correctly. So, but we could still go down and check. But for New Zealand, 2.2 has gone down from 7.2, 2.2, and then Canada, did I say 1 something? Might be wrong. 1.9. Boom. Lucky. But yeah. So that is very low inflation. What is the opposite of that inflation? That is Argentina. Argentina has 160 or something or so inflation, and Turkey has some high inflation. What happens in those countries? Well, those are failed economies, obviously, but with very low inflation, you see lower interest rates and lower demand for those currencies.
Markets have been kind of crazy today. US markets obviously closed. I think it was not just the inauguration. I think there's MLK. There's another reason behind it. But yeah, kind of a very volatile day, especially for US dollar crosses. Yeah, all good with me. Just sat through drawdown as I was last week. So euro dollar shorts are still in play for me. And my euro pound shorts are still on. So yeah, just sat through drawdown. Very boring period for me. Managing very, very closely. My drawdown is pretty heavy at the moment, so I had to cut some losses and scale into some positions, but generally speaking, not much else going on. Still in dollar Swiss, and yeah, euro pounds here as well. So you call that long gold? 14. Yeah, gold is still untradeable for me. I could potentially have caught some of these pullbacks. However, it just didn't feel right. There was nothing really that made me want to go long on gold or short. That might change if we can start seeing a breakthrough of this. If we can see a breakthrough of this resistance, see a retest, and then a possible continuation. This would also be really good if we could see the dollar continue to weaken. Although, to be honest, I'm not convinced we will. I think this is just a down day. I think we're going to see, obviously, dollar crosses start to strengthen as the dollar is closed, or US markets are closed. We also did have the news come out, so if anyone's confused as to why the dollar or dollar crosses are reacting the way they are, it's because we've got this news here that Trump to lay out trade vision but won't impose new tariffs yet. So I think it's a little bit of repricing going on in the markets, but again, generally speaking, I would say the dollar is still bullish until we hear otherwise. The data points will still suggest a bullish dollar. Euro is still very bearish with the Eurozone data. So yeah. This guy does not know how to trade. Young Doji, I guarantee I've made a lot more in these markets than you have, my friend. I see 2 setups hit TP, but didn't take. I'm just observing the markets today, trying to take calculated no trading day. Bashi, I think that's probably the best idea. If you're not in any positions right now, maybe just sit out. Yeah, this week might be a little bit of a messy one. I'm not sure. It really depends what we see come out in terms of Trump news. We've got this week in terms of news. Let's just have a quick check. Tomorrow we've got news for the UK that will be obviously impactful for euro pound and pound dollar and all the other pound crosses. New Zealand dollar news But other than that, yeah, it seems like it's mainly US towards the end of the week. We've got European news as well, with Germany and the Eurozone and the UK as well. So the end of this week is going to be quite impactful. So we'll have to see what comes out. But again, I would suggest that the dollar remains bullish, especially in this short term that we're in. What would you advise a break-even trader? Break-even trader, that's tricky because there's lots of different things that can drive you to being stuck at break-even. It could either be basically two things. It could either be your strategy isn't optimized enough, so you're just stuck in sort of a middle ground, or it could be a case of your sort of psychology risk models just aren't where they should be. So if it's a psychological thing, if you're finding yourself cutting trades too early, if you're mentally struggling with the trading side of things, then that would tell me you don't have enough data on your strategy. So the reason a lot of successful traders don't struggle with things like that is because they've been trading for many years. They know the data, they know the stats behind the way they trade, so they're not too worried. To take a loss, completely fine. The next one might likely be a winner. They have the stats to back that up. If it's a risk thing, if you're risking too much and you're losing a lot more than you're winning, that type of thing, if your risk model just isn't solid, then of course optimize the risk model. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no one thing I can just tell you. But yeah, as Harry said, I would say look at your journal, look at your MyFX book, and see what trends and what patterns you can find in your losers and what you can find in your winners, and then obviously cut back on the losers, try and reduce that pattern and then increase the winning pattern. Royal Trades, good to see you. Yeah, journaling's an integral part, especially for newer traders. Obviously it can really help define success. Joseph says, any idea on dollar CAD shorts? I wouldn't really be in favor of shorting dollar CAD, to be honest, at least yet. So there's two things, and this is going to sound ridiculous because I'm going to say it's up or down, but there's two situations here. So what we could see is either Trump comes in and we start seeing repricing on the dollar, we start seeing worse dollar data, we generally start to see the dollar start to break down. This would, of course, coincide really, really nicely with the current oil strength that we're seeing. Obviously, oil's been on a pretty nice run recently. So dollar CAD would have some really nice downside potential there. We've got a lot of room here that we did see this uptrend come, that we could see essentially get corrected and reversed. However, on the flip side, if we don't start seeing that situation, we start to see oil relax a little bit, we see the dollar continue its strength throughout the rest of this week when obviously the US markets open up again, then I would be more towards the side of dollar CAD coming back up to these previous highs. So I'll show you that on the daily. So we can see 2016 and then 2016 and 2020, we came up to this sort of resistance level that we're almost at. So I would expect this one to get hit again. But yeah, again, obviously the markets run on the fundamentals and the economics, so we'll have to pay attention to what is driving the market. But at the moment, as of right now, I'm still pretty flat on this market. I wouldn't really want to buy or sell. Again, strong dollar and strong oil prices causing this current consolidation that we're seeing. Yeah, dollar's not doing well today, Royal. Hello, my name is Ari Steid. Can I get Real Teach to help me how to trade? Feel free to send me a DM if you want to. You can also go to Ivan, who was the previous host. He also does some mentorship. It depends really. When you're looking for a mentor or someone to teach you, you need to not just go to someone who sounds fancy. You need to find someone who you resonate with, someone who trades the way you want to trade. For example, if you wanted to learn how to day trade, but you went to a swing trader or a position trader, you're not going to learn. You'll learn some things, of course, but you won't learn exactly what you want to learn. So it's obviously very important to research who you learn from before you actually go and do it. I was talking about silver actually to one of my traders at Elite Traders yesterday. We were looking at 29 flat. I can't remember because it was like 1 a.m. Let me just mark up 29. Yeah, here. So yeah, we were looking at this support level because I'm not a commodities trader, but he is, and he was saying that silver is extremely undervalued, and he's looking towards sort of 38 to 50. So I wouldn't be opposed really to buying off the support level, so at around the 29 mark. The issue is there anything actually driving silver right now? Silver has followed some similar trajectory. Silver has followed a similar trajectory as gold, benefiting from both investment flows and industrial demand. So it seems overall quite positive, but again, not enough to make me overly interested. Silver's also not on the edge finder, neither is gold. Copper and platinum are, but again, they're not really assets that I trade, so I can't give you much on them. Have you heard about Trump's crypto token? I'm glad someone brought that up. So the reason I was on my call last night was because we saw the Trump token. I bought in from 28 to 75, so I got a 250% return on Trump yesterday, which was quite nice, but unfortunately I only deposited $200, so you know the return was pretty small. But then last night Trump also retweeted Melina's token. So I jumped on a call with my trader here at $1. And I don't know if any of you guys trade crypto. I don't really. But the Solana chain completely crashed. There was no way to get in. I had Ethereum, I had Bitcoin, I had USDC. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't transfer anything into Solana to buy in. So I missed almost 1,000% gain because I just couldn't transfer any funds. So I'm currently in. I've got these two blue lines. So I bought into Melina, and I'm currently in Trump. This one's in slight loss, but yeah, made 250% initially, and now I'm back into both of them. So we'll see how they go. They're very small amounts, by the way. I don't condone gambling and meme coins and things, but if you've got some money that you can play around with, then why not?
Sure, everyone feels like they had a FOMO weekend if you watch the Trump coin. Dollar's down, yen is down, Swiss is down, New Zealand is up. I'm curious if that has any play on the China stocks I've been watching the last couple of years. We've got New Zealand up, Euro up, Aussie, CAD, and Pound, but Swiss, yen, and dollar. Dollar took a big hit overnight. Thought that was interesting. Right around 8:30 a.m. And what's on the calendar today? Nothing at all. So just want to do a couple of things. Markets are closed, right? 597.58 was a close from last week. We are still sitting in between some holiday levels. I don't know if this is going to be a bull trap, but it certainly is looking like one, meaning that the bulls had a nice run. They tested lows. There's a bear trap low, and this would be a bull trap high. Why? Because it looks like, oh, we're breaking the channel, but we have a gap right here and we have a gap right here. So would I be shocked this week to see the market? One of two things, right? Either this market starts to immediately come back in and fill these gaps, so we just fall back in and fill gaps right away, and we'd still be kind of range bound within this FOMC disruption to the PCE low, to the kind of the bear trap down at the election gap fill. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So we either have a gap fill, or the market is on the Trump excitement and we're back in with a new president, okay? And we got all-time highs, and it's right there within like a whisker. It's right there, clawing back at all-time highs. But does it blow through those tops? Probably not. So I could see if the market gets a little bit more excited to break above 600 on the SPY and we get to these highs, I'm probably still going to look for a sell trade or a hedge trade just in case the market is going to broaden out. You know, broadening pattern is a tricky pattern to trade, but it can be extremely profitable. Oops, let me use a couple straight lines here. It can be extremely profitable if we watch it, right? So could this market inch its way up to all-time highs again? Everyone gets all excited. Now, momentum may step in and carry over, but then it's going to look like capitulation, or momentum can get up here. We can be overbought with divergence, and all of a sudden price tops out, break structure, and then starts to roll back down, and we get all these beautiful bear targets to fill. So I think this is the lesser probability because that's going to be a lot more volatility driving traders crazy. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just have gap fills this week. Okay, so just food for thought there on SPY. NASDAQ, very similar. Is this, the sign of a breakout, or is this a bull trap? We still have a gap right here now that could be filled. We have a gap right here that could be filled. We still have the election gap on the NASDAQ that could still be filled. Now we do have earnings this week. Okay, we do have earnings this week. I want to take a look at those. I know Netflix is one of the more notable ones. Let me check here. I think I've got a screenshot in here somewhere. Yep, so here's earnings for the week. I think I took a screenshot in this. All right, trade on TKO was added in, trade on LMT was added in, trade on XLE was added in. Okay, trade on QQQ, that was my technical. All right, I'm just gonna take another screenshot. Here's the earnings plays for this week. Here's some of the notables, and then I'll go through and review some others. But we kick right off with, I would say, the biggest potential mover for the week, or at least one of the big names in the market, would be Netflix. So after close on Tuesday, Netflix is going to have earnings. We've had a bit of a decline on Netflix. Earnings could be great. We could go well outside the expected move. We could stay within the expected move. We'll have a look at the option chain here in just a moment. Consumer staples would be a 3M play. You still have some financial sprinkled in there. United Airlines would be discretionary. Airlines have actually done pretty darn well, like Delta's up to or close to all-time highs. Interactive Brokers, kind of the state of trading. We have Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson in the healthcare space, consumer staples as well. Halliburton for some energy. You've got Discover, same thing. I'd lump Discover in the same aspect as like a Visa, MasterCard. Amex is behaving a little bit differently. Got still more, like I said, financials in there. Ally Bank and Comerica, Cathay, insurance with Travelers, Alaska Airlines, Huntington Bankshares, American Airlines. Okay, so we got a nice little mix of things. I'm looking specifically at like what does Netflix do? Just because, I mean, everything consensus-wise would be important to watch. I think if earnings are not performing well, if earnings are not showing that they're beating top and bottom, so they're not beating, earnings per share, they're not beating revenue, they're not beating consensus, it's going to be hard for the market to justify all-time highs. I don't think we're going to have the same type of environment where so few stocks can carry markets higher. The Mag 7 is highly concentrated. The gains, like 40 to 50% of all the gains last year were because of Mag 7 stocks. So I don't think we can repeat that. I think that in order to lift everything, we have steady Mag 7 and we have steady or better from the underperformers, which gives a lot of potential. It could be thousands of stocks, but even if you think S&P 500, it's 490 stocks that could perform well, 492 stocks, right? If they perform well, then we could see the broader market kind of get a nudge. Next Air Energy, that one might be interesting on Friday. So anyway, I think that looking at some big names like Netflix and energy could get some volatility. I'll probably stay out of financials. I'm not that interested in crazy financials. If there's a big miss or a big hit in airlines, then it depends on the options chain. I want to see that I get 50-cent strikes or dollar strikes. I want to be really, really precise with my options chain. And I price out a couple of them. So I wouldn't mind taking a look at Netflix just to see where things are expected to go. And then I'll bring back the stream here. Okay. And we'll take a look. So dollar is down, which I'm totally fine with. I'm out, right? Like, is my dollar CAD probably still in profit? It's in profit, but that was a big fat dump. Now, again, did it hit? Yes, it did. Oh, thank God. All right. Yep. So my profit was hit. Yay. Is this not what I talked about? We've got some chop. Don't be surprised if this market runs a high or runs a low. And what did it do? Ran the high and then dropped. That is very classic market manipulation where everyone has their stop losses right above that level and they're trying to sell, and what happens? They get freaking stopped out. So that's why I put my take profit at 44.80, and this high was 44.85. I've seen it happen. So my dollar CAD and dollar Swiss both are profitable, and I'm out of these trades. Good. Now I wait. Dollar Swiss took profit at 92. Dollar CAD took profit at 44.80. Now I don't care what the dollar does. Now I have exposure on the Aussie dollar, which is long, and there you go. I'm actually back in profit on the Aussie dollar. How about my New Zealand dollar? I'm upside down a little bit, but we come back into this pocket. I've got 1, 2, 3 positions in. My break even is at 57.26, looks like. Okay, so if we get back to this pocket around 57.50, or we come all the way back to this potential range level with good support around 58.50, then I'll get out of the trade. So if the Aussie dollar or the New Zealand dollar comes back into this area, I might just eliminate the trade. If it comes back into this range where we have good support, then I'll get out of the trade for profit. So yeah, I'm good with the dollar dropping for right now. Dollar index. This did not show up in trading yet. So the dollar, like this currency strength chart has shown up in Forex pairs. So if we look at the Aussie dollar on the day, Aussie dollar on the day, pretty nice bullish candle, right? Euro dollar on the day, very nice bullish candle. Pound dollar on the day, bullish candle. I wonder if the DXY tomorrow is going to be gapping. New Zealand dollar, nice bullish candle. Dollar CAD, nice bearish candle. Dollar Swiss, nice bearish candle. And dollar yen has topped over a little bit since the highs here around 158, almost 159. Okay. Pattern wise on the yen, there's a potential trend line break. I was looking at something like this. If this is a high to low swing and this is setting up some type of head and shoulders pattern, there's a good opportunity to look for some follow through. One thing that's nice about Forex trading is a lot of these patterns are self-fulfilling. So if we start to break this trend line like so, so if we not just break the trend line like, oh, I'm shorting it right here, I think that's too early. I would be willing to say if this trade breaks, test the lows, head and shoulders pattern, or just a straight up break of the neckline with a bunch of sell stops. If this goes to symmetry, we have a lot of space on this trade. Okay, now that's if it goes to symmetry. So if I take this high to low right there, and let's say that we are topping out right now. Well, that would project my dollar yen down to 138.70. Look, there's a lot of opportunity to be short. Okay, so if I had a pattern here and I establish a short, or I establish sell stop, sell stop, sell stop, sell stop, sell stop, and I go to my profit target here, I can make a lot of money in that trade. So whether we trade the pattern itself or we trade where price would be going, we can still make money. All right, but how much do I trust the yen? I don't. Would I be willing to throw some capital at it? Maybe. But I'll probably trade options. I'll probably trade the Japanese yen futures, to be honest. Why? Because there's no negative swap. There's no full financing and rollover, but it's going to be defined risk. Okay. Volatility index, we're trading around 1596. SVXY, I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. This might be some income trades for me in the coming months. Dollar index, again, hasn't reflected the price yet. So sensitivity to tariff news. So what does it sound like? Tariffs aren't going to be like just coming out screaming right at the inauguration. Dollar sudden drop in report Monday, Wall Street Journal, that Trump is unlikely to implement immediate tariffs, shows just how sensitive the U.S. currency of the tariff is. Dollar's incredibly sensitive to the tariff outlook right now. New administration getting ready to setting a tone, suggesting that the fast-moving shock and awe trade policy that Trump has promised is likely to be more measured than the markets expected. Okay, I mean, that's probably fine. And is anybody shocked? The guy likes to say things to get attention, and then it doesn't actually pan out to be what he said. We've seen it before. So anyway, that's that. Now, if this is changing the bond market or the bond yields, that's a good thing too.
Did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.